Hey, middle school volunteers! Man, I am so excited for this Sunday because we are starting our brand new series. This series is going to be 5 weeks long. It's going to finish up most of our semester, and we're going to be looking at the whole book of Jeremiah. Now, Jeremiah is the second longest book in Scripture behind the Psalms, so we're not going to cover everything. We do have a daily Bible reading plan that I would love for you to read alongside with our students. We're encouraging our students to read that and all of their parents as well. But that will cover most all the book. We are going to take 5 different chunks, 5 different sections or segments, if you want to use the Bible word pericopes, from this book, and we're going to look at those individually. And we're going to start with the very beginning. When God calls Jeremiah and he calls him to his prophetic career, and Jeremiah's like, nah, man, I can't. I'm too young. And God just brushes that aside. He's like, don't say you're too young. Moving on. And I love that so much because it's such a common excuse. And we can read over that and just be like, okay, well, that happened, and just miss it. But what I believe, and what I'm sure that you believe as well, is that I don't think God calls us to one specific calling at just one point in our life. God's not sitting around being like, okay, well, once Adam is 40, then he'll be doing this, and then he'll be fulfilling my call on his life. I don't think that's the case. I think that God calls every one of us to something right now, right where we're at in our current phase of life. There may be something really big later on, but that doesn't mean that we are just wandering aimlessly right now. And so what you're going to be doing as a small group leader with your middle schoolers, you're going to be, once again, meeting as a small group before the sermon. And so what I want you to be thinking of is, what are some things that a middle schooler can do to change the world? That's really what the tie that we're going to be pulling from this, trying to emphasize that even a 6th grader, a 12-year-old, can make a big difference. There's not this, I'm too young, that's a terrible excuse. And so first, you're going to start really, really big. What's something that you've seen somebody do that made the world a better place? And then keep getting younger and younger until you get to the age group that your students are in. So if you've got 6th graders, keep working down through what's something you've seen an 8th grader do that was really cool? What's something that you've seen one of your friends, another fellow 6th grader, do? Do you think you could do the same? And where I'm hoping that you will eventually walk your students into this corner of is, I hope you can walk them into the corner of them eventually saying, no, I can't do it, I'm too young. And get them into that kind of tense feeling. And then when we open up Scripture moments after that, then we can point to Jeremiah and say, Jeremiah thought he was too young as well. And God used him in such a big way that we're talking about him 2,000 years, 2,500 years later on the other side of the planet. That's my hope for this Sunday. I know that you'll be able to, you'll do an amazing job with that. And I'm really, really excited to see where this leads us. I think that it'll bring students to the realization that they are not too young, that they can do anything. And I'm really excited for any of our students to hear that message. So guys, thank you so much for everything you do. Man, I love getting to serve alongside you, and I just love seeing what you're doing with these students, the way that you're pouring into their lives, you're caring about them deeply, and I cannot wait to serve alongside you this Sunday night.